Stranger Things Season 2 season review. I guess it's a season, or is it a sequel? So what would you do if you had Eleven's powers, Ted?
Use telekinesis?
Yeah.
Make my life a lot lazier.
Yeah, that's where I went right away too. I was just thinking of all the things I can do without leaving my bed.
Turn the lights off, get my food.
I will watch something I don't want to watch just because my remote's not in arm's reach, and I'll just live with it. So it definitely helped me out a lot.
You know, I was thinking that you guys were going to give me like fun suggestions, but these are just like depressing.
Yeah, so, we're not going to save anybody.
What's fun about it? I mean, yeah.
We're not going to help anybody out. We're just going to...
You could go to the Middle East, join the army.
That's fun.
Yeah, well, if you have the powers...
Please tell me what you would do.
You fight for your country. I'd train to become a Jedi. I'd train in swordsmanship. Just get nice with the sword.
I guess
that's selfish too, though.
No, but I would use my powers for good. I wouldn't just be dancing around the backyard, tiptoeing on the grasshoppers. Even though I probably would do that. Just toss insects.
You should see a doctor, man.
I don't think insects qualify.
I cheat a lot in sports.
I killed a lot of insects as a kid.
Aren't you an insect?
So overall, I thought it was a good season. We'll start with you, Aaron. What did you think about season 2?
No, I definitely liked the season. I don't know if it was as good as number 1, and I think we both had the same feelings towards the second season, that season 1 ended so perfectly that maybe we didn't really want a season 2, and we thought they would just try to just stretch it out for no reason, but I didn't feel that way at all. I think it made sense. The story tied together with season 1 very well, and I don't know, I kind of want to see where it goes going forward now.
Overall, I enjoyed watching the show. It kept me really captivated the whole time. What impressed me the most for a TV show, it was very suspenseful and scary. I honestly got scared a bunch of times in the show.
See, I didn't think it was as scary as the first season, but...
Oh, I thought it was just as scary.
I don't know, I did watch it in full lights in my room by myself, so it's not really...
In the middle of the day.
Yeah, it's not really...
I think the advantage that season 1 has over season 2 is the mystery. Because, yeah, every episode, it was this larger mystery, and every episode, it was unraveling. We would learn more about 11, the powers, the lab, the Inside Out, the Demogorgon. This season, we kind of knew everything. It was just expanding that mythology in ways that weren't as thrilling or mysterious. But it didn't feel as fresh, but it felt like a worthy successor. Like you said, I didn't think it needed a second season, but if you're going to do it well. I don't think it's as good, but I think it was very enjoyable.
Well, I like how they did it, how they paired up certain characters together, and we learned more about individual characters that we didn't necessarily know, especially when we'll get into later with Hopper and 11 and things like that, and especially Will. We got to learn, because I felt bad for this guy, Will, because everywhere the Stranger Things kids went, there was just the 3 of them and 11, and then there was no Will. They kind of left this guy out in the dust.
Well, there kind of was Will, but he was just always in a different trance, like not really with the group.
No, I'm talking about like in the public eye. Like when they were on Jimmy Kimmel at the Emmys, there was no Will.
Oh, so you mean the actors?
Yeah.
No, he was there.
I felt bad for that kid.
They brought him in.
Now they give him some burn. So I feel like it's what you do. It's like a good NFL team does. They draft a rookie quarterback, let him sit on the bench for a year, let him, so he can let him see how it's done, and then comes in second year, very strong. You love that reference, right? Because you're a big football fan.
I love football. It's where they pass and run.
To piggyback off what you said with showing us the mystery of Eleven's powers, I felt like they tried doing that with the pairing of 11 going to find her mom and finding her sister, but they didn't really expand on her powers. They just showed how she can just be stronger. Nothing really changed with her powers.
Right. I mean, it felt like in season 1 that every time she used her powers, she would be weakened in a way. That they said that she had to recharge with the chocolate pudding and the different snacks. But in this season, like you said, they show her getting stronger, but they don't show how she got to this point. They had that scene where they say, channel your rage, channel the anger. Overall, this season 2...
She could have done more, I feel like.
I don't think it was about her powers, though. I think it was about her character.
Yeah, it was more about, for everybody in this season, it was about focusing on who they were going to be in this new world. Season 1 was about opening the curtain to all these mysteries, and season 2 is, now how do you live behind the curtain with what you know, the knowledge that you have, having to keep these different secrets from people, like what Nancy and Jonathan are struggling with Barb's death. I thought that was an interesting story arc for them, too.
Fuck Barb.
No, they screwed Barb.
I think the Barb storyline in season 1 is one of the biggest criticisms you can have because she was just there to die.
I just hate Barb.
Why?
I don't know. It's turning like to the meme after that, and everyone's like, "Oh, Barb! Oh, got fucking nominated for an Emmy."
It's him.
What?
He was Barb in high school. That's
you were Barb in high school.
No, I wasn't.
That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, and I was Steve, and Ted was Billy.
You were Billy. I was
No,
Steve.
you were Billy.
I was a nice guy.
No, you were terrible.
I'm Steve, man.
You're still terrible.
I'm Steve.
You're not Steve. You're Dustin.
I'll take it.
You're a combination
Actually,
of Barb and
Dustin.
Dustin.
Season 2. We'll get into that later.
What were your thoughts on the story going with Will? The fact that he couldn't handle the pure sight, or the fact that the shadow monster took over him. I kind of wanted Will to beat the shadow monster and use it against the Upside Down and help 11 close the gate.
So you want like Will to have like a power too, like help the team.
Yeah.
Using his power with having the shadow monster against them. No, I kind of liked the way Will went. I mean, I thought the actor did a great job this season too.
I mean, for everything that he didn't do in season 1, they gave him so much more.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the best parts of the season.
I really did love the design of the shadow monster, and I love the idea of it too. Him being this superior being, this destroyer of worlds. He's kind of like Galactus in the Stranger Things world, and that connection that he had with Will, where he possesses Will and he's spying on the real world. The performance by that actor, that's not easy to act like that, man. To be that traumatized all the time.
No,
he's constantly crying.
He's probably
and
using that
anger from all the press tours that he didn't get to be a part of.
Yeah, I would be so pissed.
And the Stranger Things kids. And no Will.
Yeah.
He's still in the Upside Down.
Once again, it's the PTSD, except the flashbacks that he's having aren't flashbacks. It's what's happening right now.
I just felt bad for that family. Like, they went through all this shit last season, and now they had to do it again.
Well, I want to make a point. I don't think
break.
Winona Ryder should have top billing. I think it should be David Harbour. Because Winona Ryder, what does she do in this show? Will's mom. Well,
Besides annoy everyone. Besides
that's all she does. She's just always freaking out.
I like Winona Ryder.
I like
She never
Winona
really
Ryder,
figured
but the
anything out,
character
though.
is very just.
She only figured like one thing out with and it wasn't even her with the virus.
It was Bob
to heat up his body.
Well, I thought Joyce in season 1, the arc was more.
It made more sense
upset
because
mother,
it's the
crazy
distraught mom, right?
Yeah.
That lost the kid, but now it's just like again. Will
Help!
What are the other kids like? Get fucked up or something? Why's it always gotta be Will?
Yeah, well, you talk about Will's role being expanded for season 2. I thought for the kids that Mike's role was kind
diminished,
of it was diminished. He didn't have as much to do. It was kind of just him complaining that 11 was gone and he was sulking the whole season, doesn't embrace Max. That was disappointing to me because in season 1, he was very much the leader of the group. He kind of moves the story forward in terms of the kids, with Dustin and Lucas being his supporting characters.
The group wasn't really together, though. It was really split up the whole time. The group wasn't really a group.
Yeah, Dustin, Lucas, and Max had their own little
love triangle.
Yeah, and Mike and Will were always together.
Well, this season kind of was how season 1 drove them apart and how they can all come back together to fight again against the Demogorgons.
Because they all had different...
Demodogs.
They were all doing a different thing to fight this Demogorgon or...
Demodog.
Can you...
I just want to be correct. I mean...
Yeah, people will. I mean, you know the internet.
I mean, it is a Demogorgon.
Good old chaps. Yeah, it's a baby.
Yeah.
It's a baby. Well, it's kind of like Empire Strikes Back, where everybody is together.
Don't bring Star Wars in.
At you.
I thought it was going to be Aaron somehow bringing Game of Thrones in, but...
All right, now it's here. Empire Strikes Back. Well, how is it like Empire Strikes Back?
Because in Empire Strikes Back, the stories get separated, but by the end of the movie, they all come together. Yeah. You're shaking your head like, yeah, that's a good point. Freaking breathing down my neck. Everybody loves a good Star Wars. Yeah, but I think you can equate 11's arc with Anakin Skywalker in the prequels.
I was about to fucking go at you.
What did you think about Max as the addition to the group?
She didn't really do much. She was just not...
No, but I thought
I don't know. She wasn't really part of the group. She didn't really do anything. She didn't help.
I thought she was cool. I thought that's all she needed to be. Was just like a cool
an outsider
addition.
in the group and have the inner turmoil within the group to try to disclose all this information that happened last year to an outsider.
I thought they were going to have
how great was that scene when Lucas explained everything? And she's like, I thought you could have been more original. It was a little derivative.
She nerd souped his story.
Max, please tell me where you've seen this before.
It was like such a meta reference.
Where it's not original.
Yeah. To all the people that criticized season 1, they said, it was just a ripoff of all the 80s shows.
Yeah.
Which is stupid to me. I think art always expands on what came before it. There's nostalgia porn done bad, and then it's done right. I think in the cases of Stranger Things, it was done right. Force Awakens.
Game of Thrones.
All that nostalgia porn from the 80s.
I'm not going to lie. Kids are fucking mean back in the day.
Oh, I wouldn't
bullies
last.
are terrible.
I wouldn't last back in.
Neither.
Guy like Billy in my high school, I'd be fucking in a locker every day.
Doesn't 1980s high school seem a lot more harsh than when we went to high school?
Oh my god!
I think it was the lack of internet.
But I always thought,
the lack of porn.
I always wanted to be a kid in the 80s, though. Like ride your bike around, no phones, no
I
technology.
said the same thing, but I don't want to be back in the day because
fuck being.
We would have been fine.
I'm 5'8", 180 pounds. I would have got ripped apart.
You're not 5'8", 180 pounds.
I was.
You weren't.
Yes, I was.
Kid's fucking captain of the football team, saying he would have got picked on in high
school. All right, for all you guys listening out there,
the middle school is the same as the high school. Those kids are in middle school still. the high school and middle school was together.
Ted was like a top 3 kid in our graduating class, so
Like senior
nobody
year.
believed him. Nobody. Yeah,
I
senior
grew into
year.
myself.
Oh,
Football awards.
you were fucking
grew into
varsity
myself.
football player in 10th grade.
You played varsity basketball, and so you played
Well,
football too.
junior year.
Yeah, but I was hurt all the time. I just sat on the bench. It's different.
You did have that one touchdown though.
It was a fucking
One more than Pete.
Yeah, scored a
sick
touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, the love triangle. Well, I knew she was going to end up with Lucas.
No way.
I swear to God, you can't pair her and Dustin. That's
what
just,
Dustin's-
Dude, Dustin was so fucking annoying this season. Am I the only
He
one
was
that feels
very-
that?
No, I hate
you know
him.
what? He got the Drax treatment from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Where everything good about him in season 1 was just heightened, and it made him a caricature of what he was. That it was just, oh, you liked him being funny and goofy? Now he's going to be funny, goofy, and stupid for the sake of...
Like, he would never do that last year. He
Ex-
would
yeah.
never take that
it was
thing
out
home
of
and-
character.
Yeah, I know.
He's just
I
annoying,
know.
man. I don't care what he did. And it's just
No,
he wasn't.
He's
no,
not annoying.
he was annoying, but I think also his character decisions were out of character.
That's what I thought was annoying about him, not him. I liked him personally.
Like, even when he tried to equate with Lucas, the fact, oh, he said, you told Max about what happened. You weren't supposed to do that. Lucas is like, there's no way. That's not the same thing.
You kept a demodog
and when it fucking
in
helped him
your
out.
house,
when
and
that-
then you told your mom that the cat's lost. And
Yeah,
he ate
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fucking with the
Is
mom.
Muse the new Barbara? My column. I
Check it out.
that whole time when they were in the roots and the Demogorgon came up to them, the Demodog, sorry, and was blocking their passage. I'm like, yo, please don't let that
Oh,
fucking be.
that was so stupid.
Please don't let that be
Dart.
Dart, and then let them go because he remembers Dustin, and sure enough, it happens.
Well, you had to see that coming from when he found him in the bathroom, and Dart just walked right into his arm.
Fuck Dart.
Like, they started the bond right there.
This guy Teddy sees these things.
Connects to
He
him
knew
on an
they were going to be
emotional level.
buddies. I just want to point out Max 100% inspired by Beverly from It.
Think
Just
so?
another nice
that's
reference.
That's
to,
right. I wanted to bring that up. It had this thing has like the It vibe where the kids rule the town and there's no parents at all. Like, where are the parents for these kids?
Or did it? Well, Mike's parents are sleeping and in bathtubs and on the phone all fucking.
Right.
Ted with his chicken. How's your chicken, Ted? Fine.
Oh yeah, Ted. That's me.
Yeah, that's basically, yeah, you're Billy and then you grow into Ted when you're older. And then the
The guy
new
just
Billy
doesn't
comes
care.
and hits on your wife while you're sleeping.
Another thing is, where is the police? They do nothing.
Hopper.
They do nothing besides help these two kids out.
Well, I think in the first season
What?
too, his buddies like didn't believe anything he said. I kind of wanted to see more of those two cops because they were so good in season 1. Well, I guess let's go to Hopper and 11. That was probably the best relationship of season 2.
Yeah, especially since we know what happened to Hopper's daughter at first, so he's trying to be a father figure to 11, who's
Kidnapped her. Yeah.
that's a tough job too. I mean, just to take on a
He
teenage.
saved her. He didn't
Yeah,
kidnap
what the
her
hell are you
Keeping her stored in a house is kidnapping her.
for
yes.
her own
saving
safety.
it?
She doesn't need her own safety. She has superpowers. She doesn't need her own safety. She's fine.
Yeah, but when
She's
the
got
whole
cornered a million times by them and killed them all.
So you just wanted to be a murderous rampaging, going
No,
around
but-
killing government agents that are trying to attack her?
You know she has a relationship with Mike, like
who you taking, 11 or the military?
military. We'll figure it out.
That's what Hopper is trying to do. He's trying to figure it out.
Anyway, back to before I
It's not
was
really
so
the
rudely
military, though.
interrupted
It's a
by
fucking-
Teddy.
It's a laboratory.
That's a good.
God, I don't even know where I was going with this now, Ted. You fucking suck.
That's
You're
a good
going-
Ted rant.
You're going somewhere.
That's the first Ted rant I think we've had on Nerd Soup.
I like it. It's finally coming into his
Yeah, it's like
character.
fucking once you sip right into the mic. Guy goes on one rant. He thinks he gets sipping privileges.
Yeah, like we know what happened with Hopper's daughter, so he's trying to fulfill a father figure role to 11, who's, I mean, to take on a teenage girl in any circumstances is tough, but especially one with this like past and not knowing how society works. She's basically learning through television how to fit into society, and I thought that was a very interesting dynamic with those two characters. The emotional scenes too, fucking, they're both like tremendous actors, David Harbour and
Oh,
Millie
I
Bobby
love
Brown.
David Harbour, man. That might be one of my favorite fictional characters ever.
He's
Hopper?
up there.
Yeah, Hopper. Oh, he's
He's the
awesome.
man.
And he's being casted as Hellboy. I think he's. The more I see him in Stranger Things, I'm like, yep, that's Hellboy. But the
I saw
relationship.
it too when there's a scene when 11 like grabs his hand and he's just towering over like this big. I'm like, oh yeah, that's fucking Hellboy right there.
Yeah, and the voice, the way he's just a great actor. But that relationship, it's interesting because it's basically two characters who are looking for something that they've lost. Hopper obviously lost his daughter, and Eleven has lost her childhood. But even though they found each other, they still can't have that thing. Like you said, she's being kept in this abandoned house. She's not allowed to leave. She's learning through television. And Hopper can't embrace her as a daughter because it's just that father-daughter relationship can't happen in these circumstances. But I think overall the arcs of those two characters, the way that it finished with him actually adopting her, that was terrific. Jane Hopper, I think that's awesome.
See, I don't. This would be a little like rant that means nothing, and it's probably stupid. Jane.
So we'll cut this out.
It's fucking 11. I don't want to hear Jane.
Oh God.
That's like when you say if someone calls Jon Snow Aegon. There you go, Ted. It's a Game of Thrones reference. When someone calls Jon Snow Aegon from now on, I fucking
That's
hate
so
that
different.
person.
That's so different.
It's 11. It's not Jane.
No, I think you can go with both. It's more 11 than Jane, but the Aegon thing.
I'd rather it be Jane. It's her fucking real name.
It's 11.
What's wrong with that?
John's real name is Aegon, but I'm calling him Jon Snow.
So that's what you want to do.
Yeah, but that's
I
a
know how
dumb,
stupid it sounds, and
that's
it's
a dumb name.
Yeah, true.
I was pretty happy when she started cleaning because
Even though I
like,
cracked the case of that name in the book.
like Hopper actually got through to her, but then she finds out her mom, which
What did you think about that, the mom storyline?
I think it could have been better. I wish her mom would have woke up and got out of that trance. I felt like they could have expanded with her powers more there, and her mom could have taught her about her powers. Because isn't her mom?
She definitely does something. You saw her nose bleeding, and she was communicating through the lights with 11.
Yeah, she has some sort of telekinetic powers.
Like I felt like once she saw Jane, maybe she'd hop out of her trance, and
I thought that was going to happen too. That whole sequence, very David Lynch, right? The way the flashbacks and going into the way that 11 would communicate with these people. But that kind of freaked me out, the interactions with her mother.
that's what, like when I said in the beginning how it was suspenseful and freaky.
Yeah.
That was like
Those were some of the
had
best
me going,
scenes.
man.
Yeah, those were freaky.
going back to those flashbacks and her like and finding out what she's saying and why she's saying it because it's the last thing she's seeing.
Right, yeah. The way that it all came
up.
together. Yeah. She sends 11 to go meet number 8. I mean, the first scene of the season, to me, just threw me for a loop. I was like, what the hell is this?
Where's she been?
Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, PA. I was like, this doesn't feel like Stranger Things. And I think that was the point. When 11 goes to meet with her sister, it felt very 80s. It was cheesy. It was 11 trying to find herself in this 80s atmosphere. I don't want to say I didn't like it, but I wasn't indifferent towards it. It was okay. I thought it could have been handled better.
Yeah,
Maybe earlier if she got there earlier and they developed the relationship more, but it didn't feel real to me.
I feel like they try to do too much with that, with the dilemma 11 had. Like, oh, she finally finds her sister and this group of outcasts and rejects, but they go around and they kill all the bad people. Like, I thought that was a little bit too much of an extreme to force 11 into. I would have rathered more of just building a relationship and a trust with number 8 and then helping 11 understand her powers, where she came from, and build as a character and stuff like that. When she was in the apartment of the doctor that gave her mother the shock treatment and she had to make the decision whether to kill him or not, I felt like that was kind of a little too forced. I don't know if you felt that
and it was
way.
predictable.
Yeah, like she wasn't going
Yeah.
to do it, then she just realized she had to go home.
That's why I felt if the relationship was established through 2 or 3 episodes, maybe that moment is more impactful because we're like, oh, could she do this now? Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about it, Ted?
Was it just me, or did that opening scene throw you guys off though when you found out that she was another
I was
experiment?
like, oh shit. I was like, this is going to be dope.
I thought they were gonna find more. Like,
Yeah,
as
that's what I thought.
As the lab was collapsing after the end of season 1.
There's 9 others.
There is?
Yeah, I mean, 11, 8.
At least.
Yeah. They could be dead. They could be hiding.
But,
I thought she was going to have a role in the main story. I thought that her power was going to come into play on how they closed the gate.
I tend to forget how bad 11 was in the beginning. Bad in terms of killing. She killed a lot of people.
She wasn't bad. I think it was just her instinct, and she didn't really know what.
Yeah, but everyone forgot about that. That she was killing. I mean, I know they were bad people, but
But she doesn't know basic human morals in society yet. She's just learning this. So when she's being attacked, her defense mechanism is to use her powers to protect herself.
she I love how 11 tried them all hard. Yeah, I kill people.
Come on, I caught some bodies. The plan to basically close the gate. I mean, the 11's role kind of just felt like she was just. It didn't feel as clever as season 1. I think the whole season.
It was cliche.
The way that it was predictable. They didn't use science in a clever way. But the one character who saved the day, who is the MVP of season 2, is Bob. Is Bob.
Oh,
Come on.
God.
The way that.
Yeah, I was fucking.
Mr. Frodo.
I was fucking going off when I
opened
saw
the
him.
door.
I'm like, Sam! And he starts hooking up with Joyce. I'm like, and he's fucking! I was going nuts.
Rudy. Yeah, his relationship with Joyce Byers, I thought he's one of the best additions because he was the dorky stepdad that was trying to form a relationship with these kids who never really had a dad.
But he didn't try too hard, too. That's what made him so good, too.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to force himself into their family.
Yeah, it was a very natural fit in the show.
You didn't have to kill him. There was no need to kill him.
The showrunner said that they always knew that he was going to die, but they liked him so much, so they kept him until episode 8.
Yeah, they gave him a bigger role, yeah. Like at first, I think they said they wasn't supposed to be like in the plans to to figure out the map and find out where Hopper is.
There wasn't going to be a plan for that, or there was?
There was, but I don't think Bob was going to be that instrumental into finding out.
He did crack that map, on his Sherlock Holmes shit, yeah.
Who was more of a Sherlock, Hopper or Bob?
Oh, Bob.
The guy's in the trenches. He is the MVP. He's the reason why they made it out of there, hands down. He's the reason why they're still alive. You could have just opened the door.
Gone but not forgotten.
You could have just opened the door and showed.
Did you guys think he was going to make it?
Yeah.
When it went slow motion,
Bob made it out.
Get out! I was screaming at the TV. I was like, "Get the fuck out of there, Bob!
Hopper, yo, fucking shoot him! This guy Bob leaves the gun around like a fucking idiot.
Well, he wasn't doing anything with that gun.
Yeah, but still, you forget the gun.
He
it's
did.
your piece,
once they showed him forgetting the gun, I was like, he's done.
Yeah.
Mr. Frodo.
You want to talk about feeling bad for somebody? Feel bad for Steve.
Right. Well, Steve is like
Nice transition, Ted.
Yeah, that is a good transition. Steve is a character like in season 1 that this show really subverted a lot of cliches, and everybody thought, oh, Steve is just going to be the douchey bully who gets the hot girl, and then the girl goes for the nerd. Steve's become like a really good character.
I love Steve.
I felt so bad for him. Fuck John.
I want Nancy with Steve.
Yeah,
me too.
I don't even like Jonathan. He's boring. Everything is I don't like everything. I don't like.
I hate my
football.
life.
Yeah,
Wait,
I hate my life. What?
What'd you say?
I don't like parties. I don't go to parties.
Yeah,
Steve has become the better character.
Yeah, Steve's a fucking man.
The way they flipped it, it's now like, oh, Nancy is gonna end
John's
up
a scumbag.
Yeah. It's like he's okay, but Steve's
so
the
cool
man.
about it too. He's like, don't worry about it. Go with Jonathan.
Yeah, he's like, fine. Yeah.
We don't deserve Steve.
Was it just me, or did you get amped when Steve went to town on that Demodog?
Well, he's the man
bat?
with the bat. Yeah, he's better than Negan.
Even that Joey Bat's bat flip.
Well, the season 1 bat flip was insane.
That was better than that bat flip he had against
No way.
that Joey Bats did.
You think so?
Yeah, where he tossed like 100 feet in the air.
That was a good bat flip. So
Solid
Puig's bat flip when he hit a double.
Yeah, I like how Steve became like, we see how good of a guy he is. He's just hanging around with a bunch of kids, just trying to protect them the whole season, and I don't know, it's really cool to do. And as far as Nancy and Jonathan, like their side quests
I thought it was clever.
What, their side quests?
Yeah,
Bring
I
down
like
the
their side quest.
government with what the fuck was the detective's name? That guy was electric.
Beard.
He was good. What has he been in?
A lot of. I feel like
Yeah, he's been.
but that same character too.
Yeah, I'm trying to like put.
Looking like Tom Cruise in fucking Tropic Thunder. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, kind
He
of.
does.
Okay, Flaming Dragon. Fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
What I loved about the Jonathan Nancy subplot is that the conspiracy theorist journalist tells them nobody's going to believe this story. We need the mailmen, the priests, the teachers, the everyday people to believe this conspiracy theory. So we need to water it down. It can't be about interdimensional travel and monsters and beasts and girls with superpowers. Let's just make it about contamination, toxins from the lab. And I thought that was a smart way to try and take down this government agency that's really been running amok for 2 years.
I don't know, I feel like that was kind of like a weird, like I understand why they wanted to do it, but I don't think they understood what the government was actually trying to do. They were trying to go after the current, I guess, doctors for something that happened in the past. When we find out, like, the main doctor, he really isn't that bad of a guy. He was actually trying to help.
Yeah, Paul
That threw me
Reiser.
for a loop because honestly, I couldn't peg him. I didn't know if he was good or bad. He was like trying to like brush off Hopper with that contamination, but they actually found out that actually was something. That's when I realized that the scientists were actually trying to help.
I didn't really get a peg on him too until later on in the season. Like when he was helping Bob escape, I thought he was like leading him into the Demodog. I thought he was gonna fuck him over, but
I think he finally realized that he was a good guy when he got shot, and Hopper.
no, he was even defending Will when they were all meeting, and they were saying, well,
Yeah,
if
that
Will
too.
dies, not like really doesn't play a big factor into the bigger role of everything, and he was like, please let me just try. So
That's where I thought this was going to, though, because you obviously saw that when you hurt the shadow monster, you hurt Will. So I thought the whole thing was going to be to Will sacrifices himself.
Yeah, I thought in season 1, Papa, the scientist that was experimenting on 11, I thought he was a really good villain, but they kind of changed that this guy is kind of remorseful and he regrets what happened before him with his predecessors, and he's really trying to contain and fix the problem. They're not
the scientist.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Papa is remorseful.
No, I'm saying the new one,
Yeah.
the new scientist played by Paul Reiser, who's kind of playing the opposite of what he did in Aliens. I loved his character. By the end of he helps Hopper with Jane. I thought it was a really good character, very likable.
So that last scene, though, that means that Jane is Hopper's kid now? That's what that whole thing was?
Yeah, he got him the birth certificate.
It's interesting because there really wasn't that much of a villain. I guess Billy was like the human antagonist, but
Right.
he really wasn't.
No, he was kind of just like a participant.
Yeah, he wasn't really.
It wasn't an adversary.
into the bigger story.
Yeah.
He fucking sucked, man. Another thing, Billy, like when he was like helping him,
Oh, Billy sucked?
yeah,
Tetris
Bill.
asshole.
talking about that. When like I'm like, all right, maybe he's not that bad. When he helped Steve, like, oh, set your feet, try to take the charge. I'm like, all right, he's trying to help the team out.
Yeah.
Then like literally the next scene over, he's like, oh, don't hang out with Lucas.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's a racist asshole.
Okay, man.
So-
1980s racism.
Was it not the most awkward scene when they're in the shower and they're just talking casually and then like he like taps him on the back and walks away with him and like throws his towel over him?
It's fucking cool, man.
I mean, if you think it's awkward, I mean, yeah, it's really awkward. I definitely didn't enjoy that scene a lot. Brett Gelman, the guy who played the journalist, Twin Peaks.
No shit.
Yeah, he's the guy who runs the casino.
Holy shit, yeah, that's
Mr.
right.
Jones.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
Yeah, right.
So what do you think overall rating of the show? Well, season.
Have to put a number on it?
Yeah. I'm pulling your arm. Personally, I'm
How are you
going
wearing that
7.5.
Did you ask us what our rating was and give your rating before we gave ours?
You guys weren't saying
Yeah,
it,
who
so
does that?
You guys weren't saying anything.
7.5. Wow, it's really. Do you know the scale?
lowballed it.
10?
What's the scale?
I don't know.
Talk to you.
Is it no 0.5s?
That
No, you
and,
can
like,
do decimals.
the
All right,
Nerd Soup-
7.4.
The Nerd Soup scale is kind of all right. It's very average, Ted.
Aaron,
What's average about that? I'm not giving it a 10.
kind of lowballing it there.
I'm not giving it a 10 or a 9.
What would you give
And it was
season
so
one?
cliche. Season 1?
Yeah.
8.
Shit, like you
What the hell?
lowballing, man.
I would give season 2 an 8.5.
0.5 more and I'm lowballing it?
0.5 more.
Wait.
You gave it a 7.5.
Oh, this is
I
season
said
7.4.
season 1, I get 9.5.
I
I don't know why I'm a decimal guy all of a sudden. I don't do
Yeah,
decimals.
you never have ever
Am I
used a
setting a
decimal.
trend?
Season 2, I'll give it an 8. Season 1 gets a 9.
8, 9.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it this one. I'll give it 8.5 to 9.
No, you can't do
No,
that. You have
yeah.
to pick one.
All right,
It's like, yeah, I'll give it a 1 to a 10.
I'll give it an 8.5.
All right, cut the feed stats.